In this lesson, we're going to introduce our students to the power position and teach them how to perform a discus standing throw. So we'll begin with a warm-up to activate and mobilize our lower body. And then we're going to teach our students the correct foot position of the power position and learn how to move into this position to deliver the discus throw. So we'll begin by mobilizing our hips and our spine ready for the throw. Because during the throw, the main thing we want to create is a separation between the upper and lower body. So we can start with some basic leg rolls where we'll have our hands in this nice high position like we'll have with the discus. We'll roll our legs to either side to mobilize the spine. So we need lower body and upper body separation. So we can take the same exercise and bring it slightly up the spine by raising our leg straight and then over to the side to feel the stretch through our upper spine. Now we also need to warm up our legs ready for throwing. So we're going to take a basic lunge with a twist, and that's going to create that separation between the upper and lower body we're looking for, but also warm up our legs in this position that we're going to need to see later when we turn. So the final exercise in our warm-up is going to be for our adductors, because we're going to use it a lot in our throwing. So we're going to come into a kind of half squat position that we're going to see at the back of the circle. And we're going to create tension through our thighs as we learn to turn a half turn, maintaining our upright position and maintaining this tension. So now that we know this position we want to see at the back of the circle, we can use this to practice our discus turn. So we're going to come into a half squat position with our tension through the thighs. We're going to open our arms out to a nice flat position, and we're going to practice a half turn, trying to keep our hands and our arms as flat as possible. So this is going to be the first half of our turn. From the back of the circle, we're going to turn to the middle of the circle and maintain this nice upright position with a nice high discus. The second part is to now turn to the front, creating that separation between the upper and lower body. But this is also going to bring us into our power position, which is going to be the best position for us to throw. Now the power position can have our rear foot slightly forwards and our left foot slightly backwards, which is why I've used a line to demonstrate this position. And this allows us to create that rotation to the front and create a strong position for us to throw. So we can practice the turn down the line, working to get one foot on one side of the line, one foot on the other, and that nice strong position with the big separation of the upper and lower body. So now that we know the correct foot positioning for the power position, we can use this in our standing throw to practice the delivery. So we're going to step with our rear foot ahead of the line and our front foot behind the line. And now we're going to use a quoit to make the release as easy as possible. All we're going to do is come back, create separation between our upper and lower body. And from here, we turn our hips to the front and release from a nice tall position. Now if we want, we can advance this exercise to add in our turn down the line. So we'll come into a nice high position with the discus. We'll step one foot on one side of the line, other foot to the other side of the line, and then turn to the front to release in one smooth movement. So now that we know the correct positionings for the standing throw, it's time to introduce the discus. And that means we need to know how to grip it correctly. And we don't want to grip the discus too tightly. What we want to do is grip it only by our fingertips. And we're going to spread our hand as big as possible. That gives us control over the discus. So from here we should be able to relax. And this is where we need to create spin on the discus that gives us a nice flight in the air. So we're going to take this nice grip. We're going to practice rolling it off of our index finger to create that spin in the throw. So the final thing to do is to apply this to our standing throw. We now have our nice loose grip on the fingertips. We know our foot positioning, and we know how to create separation between the upper and lower body. So our job now is to turn to the front, create that spin, and try and get the discus to fly as flat as possible. So hopefully now we have all of our students performing a basic but effective standing discus throw with a nice flight on the discus. The final thing to do is to throw for distance and have some fun seeing how far we can throw.